you guys doing? Welcome to the Hersey House. My name's Jeremiah Hersey, and today we're going to be talking about how to use an if statement with a collection and a patch to notify your users that they've submitted something. So let's take a look at make.powerapps.com at an app that I have created. So just to give you guys a general overview of what this app is. This is a status report app I built for the company that I work for, Pragmatic Works. And we can go to submit our status report for the day. But what I'm going to be focusing on today is the PTO screen. So if you have a form like this one up here, this thing right here is a form. There's a command called an onSuccess property, display information once we submit. So for instance, if I were to submit PTO today, watch the top of the screen, your status report has been submitted. Okay, I can also delete it right here if I want to. But the issue is that when I submit, let's say I want to submit PTO for today, I'm going to verify the date range, 1 day. If I submit PTO, notice that it submits it, but I don't get that screen. The reason, or the status at the top, the reason for that is that, the reason for that is that in the PTO screen, like I said, there are two pieces. This top piece is a form. Here is a little bit different. I have something going on. So this is a date picker that allows you to select the date range, and it takes the weekends out. And so I'm not going to go into that today, but notice that we have a couple days that are missing. That's because it's taking out the weekends, because we only want to submit PTO on the days that we're actually working. So let's take a look at the code behind this. So notice that I'm saying, well, let me start at the beginning. Let me start with the collection. So this button right here is what starts my collection. So date range is the name of my collection. This is my collection name right here, date range. And so anytime someone puts a date in here and in here, this collection is going to count the difference between the days minus the weekends. So I'll show you the code real quick. There's the date diff, so that takes the difference between the start date and the end date. And then I have some code in here to get rid of the weekends. So once again, my issue is that when I submit a patch command, because this is not a form, I'm hard coding values into my table. Here's my table, and I'm hard coding these values into my table. So this is what happens when I submit that PTO button. Notice that it says for the date range for the collection if it's a weekday, and so I've set this up to only count the weekdays. So let's take a look at our form real quick. So notice if I select the form, the whole form, and I have a property called onSuccess. And so it says notify, it's been submitted, we saw that happen, but I don't have that option for here because it's not an actual form. This is a gallery that's just displaying the amount of days. So what I have to do is I have to trick, or not trick it, but I have to say if I have information in this collection, I want you to notify me that it's been successfully submitted, because we know with the patch command, it's going to put it right into our table. So let's see what we can do. So what we're going to do is right after this semicolon, we're going to say if. Now, the exclamation mark, let me zoom in here so you guys can see. The exclamation mark is a opposite command, so it says not. So what I'm going to say is if my date range is not blank. Okay, so this exclamation mark means not. So if my date range is not blank, meaning it has information in it, I want you to notify the right, and then I can finish up. Oh, I missed double quotes. So now let's go and play. So if I select my date range, let's say just to the 11th. So it should give me 2 days of PTO, 2 days off. And notice now when I hit the submit button, not only will it submit it and patch it into my table, it will also give me a notification across the top. So guys, that's a real quick way on how to use an if statement with a patch and a collection to notify your users that their information has been successfully completed. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining me. The reason I say us is because we're a team here at Pragmatic Works. Go check us out at pragmaticworkstraining.com. You get a free 7-day trial. Thanks and see you next time.